I appreciate it. All right. All right, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started 1 West 125th Street under Commanding General YAHANNA. You know what I'm saying? We're going, you know what I'm saying? We're not affiliated with any of the Hebrew Israelite group. So, you know what I'm saying? Coming into this truth, you know, it's definitely a life changer, man. You know what I'm saying? I know I definitely changed my life coming up in here. You know, doing from all the wicked things I did to, you know what I'm saying, now, you know what I'm saying, you know, our whole goal is to raise up men and women. You know what I'm saying? Children too. You know what I'm saying? Raising up our people to you know, who they, you know, telling them who they are, who's their real nationality, and you know, how we've been deceived this whole time. You know what I'm saying? We've been deceived for many years, man. Thinking we're Africans, or, you know what I'm saying, we, you know, trying to unite off just black, you know, being black. You know, that's not gonna, you know, you can't unite on being a nationality that you aren't, or trying to unite on a color. You know, so we, you know, our whole mission is to wake up our people, you know, to get, you know, really our people to love each other once again. You know, that's damn near the key ingredient. You know, we've always turned our back on the Lord, and we've always turned our back on each other. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, them two right there, that's like the key ingredient, man. You know, we turned our backs on each other, and we just really need to, you know what I'm saying, start respecting one another again. You know, but it's gonna come to that time real soon, you know, especially how, you know what I'm saying, this white man, he gonna go crazy in a minute. So, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and, you know, get this first scripture. All right. I don't like this Bible. So here. So let's go to Matthew 18 and 3. All right. So this is Matthew 18 and 3. And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. So, you know what I'm saying? Basically, if you don't become as a child again, you know what I'm saying? If you don't change your way and be as a kid again, you know, and a child, they just listen. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, that's, I guess, if this, you have a real obedient child, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, kids don't really know anything, you know. So when you tell them something, it's not like there's a whole lot of rebuttal, because the knowledge that they already have, it is, you know, the knowledge they already have is just already so little, you know. So you tell a kid something, you know, they're more likely to soak it up like a sponge, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you know, other than somebody, you know, who's, you know, you trying to teach something to somebody who's 40, 50, 60 years old, you know, they're going to have a lot of questions. You know, somebody older, they're going to be more willing, you know, or have more of a spirit to fight you on what you're saying than somebody who's like, you know, a child, a kid that, you know, somebody more grown, they're going to have more of a spirit to fight you than as, you know, a kid, because like I said, a kid doesn't really know too much anyway. So anything you really teach them, especially if you're already wise, you know what I'm saying, we bringing out the scriptures, you know, a kid, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, they're gonna take it like it's something they've never heard before. You know what I'm saying? A kid is gonna, be more likely to absorb it and be like, it's gonna seem more fresher to them than somebody who's, 50 years old. They're gonna, they already believe they've heard everything in the book and every scam, and you know what I'm saying? You tell them anything, they're not really gonna, hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because they already know. You can't teach somebody who believes they already know, what they so-called know. You can only teach people who don't know. Somebody who believes they already know something, they're gonna be struggling with you. All right. So let's keep going. Verse 4, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So if you humble yourself like a kid, you know what I'm saying, somebody, probably when somebody brought the truth to you, it was like brand new. Like when I heard about the truth, it was totally different. Like I heard, Christianity and I'm saying God's supposed to love everybody, but that's not how it really is. But it wasn't really like, even Christianity to me was, I don't know, that was on some weird stuff, man. I didn't really even mess with it like that. But like when you hear about, like when I heard about the truth and I seen the brothers, because when I heard about it, it was on YouTube and stuff. And when I saw brothers bringing out the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, they would prove everything by scripture, back to back. And that really like amazed me, because I've been in churches like when I was a kid, and it just didn't seem like, well, not seem like, but it was just more of a show. Like they may bring out, one scripture, once an hour or something, and then it's, it's time to get back to the show. People, tap dancing and, playing their instruments and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's all a facade. It's all a show. But when I seen brothers breaking down these scriptures, man, you know what I'm saying? That was something like amazing to me. It was just something so fresh that I was like, I got to know more of this. Like I got to know, you know what I'm saying? I gotta find out what this Bible is really talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like here God is, you know what I'm saying? He don't love all nations. He only loves Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's something wild, man. To me, back in the world, I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? That was out of there. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. When I first seen a Commanding General YAHANNA, his Monday show, that to me, I was like, man, I've always been looking for something like this. Where can I find real Black news? You know what I'm saying? And, that's what the you know what I'm saying, Commanding General YAHANNA show was back when I was in the world. I was like, where can I get a real interpretation, you know what I'm saying, of news, you know what I'm saying, by the perspective of all people. That's what was crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? You got to humble yourself as a child again. You know what I'm saying? A child's going to be more willing to listen. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Just like I said, like a child not going to really, a child, his knowledge is so limited. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to have anything. He's not going to have a tool in his mind to really, you know what I'm saying, go against you. He's not going to have no kind of, a precept in his own head to even go against you with something. You know, so you know what I'm saying? A child will absorb it like a sponge. You know what I'm saying? Almost, you know, anything you tell them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to humble yourself as a child. You know what I'm saying? You humble yourself as a child, you're more easily to learn. You're more easy to, you know what I'm saying, go by these scriptures. So, you know what I'm saying? So, where we at? Let's go to Romans 6:4. Yeah, give me Romans 6:4. All right. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? If you're able to humble yourself as a child, like it says, you'll be the greatest in the kingdom because you'll be absorbing all the scriptures. You'll be learning, you know what I'm saying? You'll be using the, you know, the scriptures as tools to combat this everyday life that you're in. You know, and you know, it'll be flowing through you so much easier. Whereas, you know, if you're somebody who just will not humble themselves, you know, like a pastor or, you know, like, you know, a so-called somebody who's celebrity or whatever, you know, somebody with renown or whatever, it's gonna be harder for them because then they gotta, you know, turn against the whole world, you know, and they've just built such a large fan base. It's gonna be hard for them to turn against that whole thing. So it's gonna be hard. So those people, they're gonna end up being least in the kingdom.
Right.
Because it's just not something that they're willing to humble themselves. They're already great in this kingdom. So why they having their fun now? You know, it's probably gonna be very few people who decide, the rich and wealthy, it's gonna be very few of them, or if any, that, you know, decide to humble themselves and come into this truth. Right, so you got that?
Come.
Go ahead, read that for me.
Come. The book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 4. Therefore, we are buried with him by baptism into death, that like as Christ was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in the newness of life.
Right, so you should walk in newness of life. You know, you should, you know, change your ways. Now that we have I ain't gonna say an opportunity, but now since there's a due date in the sense of, you know what I'm saying, Christ is gonna return. You know what I'm saying? And when he returns, it's gonna be a certain amount of time. No, not okay. When he returns, that's gonna be the end of, you know, your grace period. You know, it's gonna be due date time.
Right.
You know, did you keep the commandments or did you not? Did you walk in you know, in a newness of life? And you know what I'm saying? The laws and statutes, commandments, they're thing I went out, but it's back on. But if you're not doing the laws, statutes, commandments, then you're basically there like a walking zombie. You know what I'm saying? You don't know your nationality, you don't know who you are. You know, you just following another nation. You know, you want to be like them. And if you end up, you know, just being like them, you're gonna get dealt like them. You know what I'm saying? Getting dealt like them that's death. You're gonna get you know what I'm saying, a death just like this white man, or East Indian, or Nipsey Hussle, or you know what I'm saying, or African. You're gonna get the same, you know what I'm saying? Most High gonna put you to death because, you know, you're not doing what the Lord told you to. You're being the opposite of what you were created to do. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You're not doing what you were made to be.
Right.
So if you're not doing what you're made to be, you're basically worthless to the Most High.
Right.
Go ahead.
Because this is the Brotherhood class today. walking in newness of life would be a great example. Would be, forgiving your brother.
Right.
Say if you was in the world, you would, if a brother would step on your shoe, you would have an issue with him. Some minor as that could turn into a major altercation. But forgiving your brother, oh, that ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? No thing. Or even like situations where you have a brother talking behind your back.
Right.
A brother that's in the world and you in the truth now, and a brother talking behind your back. You just go to that brother, him alone, and solve the situation and forgive him. And don't hold a grudge against him.
Right. I got that precept right here. You want to bring it out? Matthew 18:15.
Matthew 18? Oh yeah, right.
Right. Yeah. Like how you said, that's right. Walking in a good example of that is like how you said, is basically, loving your people, forgiving your brother. If you forgive your brother, that's definitely stepping against the world.
Right.
You in this world, you're not supposed to forgive your people.
Right.
You're supposed to bleed them dry and get about the hood and keep bleeding them dry. You know what I'm saying? Right. Go ahead, read that.
Go. The book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Right. So if you got beef with a brother, or a sister or whatever, go and tell them, how they offended you or their trespass or what had they done against you. Like, well, go and tell them, you and them alone. You tell them, don't make it how can I say, a public, like public entertainment or something. Just go tell that brother and tell him alone, and y'all can sort it out between y'all two.
Right.
Go ahead.
Don't talk behind that brother back. Well, I forgive him, but he should never did this and that, because people can spread the word differently, and
yeah,
that's how things get prolonged. That's how situations stir out more.
All right, keep going.
That's all I want to say. Sir.
Well, keep reading.
Romans 6.
No, go read the Matthew 18:15.
Come. Book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee.
Wait, hold on. So if he will hear thee, you've gained a brother. You've won your brother back. Your brother's going to be like, well, dang, you know what? You right. I was tripping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was tripping, man. My bad. You know what I'm saying? You've gained your brother again. But if he will not hear you, you know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Come. Then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established. Verse 17.
Right. So if he, if he will not hear you, your brother's still tripping, you need to go get you 2 other people, who were there or actually, yeah, 2 other people, to be like the mediator in a sense, the witnesses, to be like, yeah, man, you did do such and such. You were in the wrong, man. It is your fault. That's those witnesses are that's like backup. Not backup in this, but it's like proving your point, proving your case. Keep going.
Right, come. Verse 17. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican.
Right. So if he neglects to hear you, he was like, nah, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm right. You know, and he don't care about the evidence you gave him or the what the witnesses say. He just say, nah, man, I'm right. You know what I'm saying? It's time to that brother is tripping. He said tripping. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have to treat him like he a Moabite or something. That brother gonna have to be moved around, man, because you know what I'm saying? He ain't being brotherly.
Right.
You know, if you're not being brotherly, that's one of the commandments. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to be a brother. You have to love your people. You can't just hold grudges against a brother and you know what I'm saying, just expect it to you know what I'm saying.
Got a precept for that too.
Go ahead.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Love your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Actually, read that one more time for me.
Come. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Right. So don't hold no grudges. You know what I'm saying? Love your people, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be holding something in and building a bucket list against your brother and just be like, oh yeah, he did that. All right. All right. You know what I'm saying? Go and confront that brother about what he did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's scripture, man. You don't hold a grudge against a brother because the next time, you know what I'm saying, he might do something, you know, and you offended, you know what I'm saying, you building your list up, and then one day you just gonna explode on him. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna just, you know, really, you know what I'm saying? You might even want to fight that dude, man, because you just been holding in all your anger and grudge and bitterness against his brother.
If I could, sir.
Go ahead.
How mature is that to do anyway, to hold a grudge against somebody?
Right.
Like that shows that's what children do, you know, like
right.
Like, hey, you ain't pay me back from last time. Now I ain't helping you out this time. You know, like godly, like you know.
Well, there's a scripture on that. You're supposed to you can lend your brother money, but if he don't pay you back, then you know what I'm saying, you cannot lend that brother some more again. Yeah, there's a scripture on that.
Right.
I have to get it for you.
Right.
But I mean,
okay, a better scenario, say like, okay, say you borrowed something from somebody, and they still using it, and you know they asking for it back, and you just, oh, I ain't gonna do it. You know, say brother in the world and brother in the truth.
Right.
You know, even though they're brother in the world, you still gotta forgive them. You know.
Okay.
Something like a scenario like that.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, don't hold something against your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Go read 1917. Go up one verse. Yeah, Leviticus. Yeah, Leviticus.
1917?
Yeah.
Come. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Don't, because if you keep holding a grudge against your brother, eventually you're going to hate that brother. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hate that brother, and you're going to, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what you might do. You know what I'm saying? It's a commandment that you don't hate your brother. That's a commandment. Thou shalt not hate thy brother. And that's a commandment, man. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to love your people. You're supposed to, you know, build each other up. You know, so like, actually read that for me one more time.
Come. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Right. So you should correct that brother and stop him from sinning. You know what I'm saying? Stop that brother from holding, you know what I'm saying, a grudge. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to do the commandments. That way you just go up to that brother and confront him. You know what I'm saying? That way that knocks all that out. Like this, you know what I'm saying? This Bible has every question that we can just imagine, like on how to handle each other, you know, how we should treat each other. You know what I'm saying? Morals, what we should eat, what we shouldn't eat. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. You know what I'm saying? So where we at? Give me give me 1 John 2 and 10. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, all right. So our biggest thing is that we just have no respect for each other. Like we'll respect what the white man say. We'll have forgiveness and love and, you know what I'm saying, compassion onto these other nations. But when it comes time for, you know what I'm saying, our own people, if, you know, if a brother messes up or something like that, it's just that, you know what I'm saying, we just have no compassion for that brother. That's good. You know what I'm saying? There's no compassion for that brother. We would rather stomp him into the ground, you know what I'm saying, and keep that brother from ever coming up. You know what I'm saying? And rising above all that. I'm saying this society makes money, you know what I'm saying, on Black, Hispanic, and Native American hating each other. You know what I'm saying? This society loves it when you hate your brother. You know what I'm saying? If we would, you know, in a sense, you know, if you're gonna follow the white man, you know what I'm saying, follow how he or another nation, follow how much they love each other. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna just follow another nation, because these other nations, you know what I'm saying, them Arabs, they care for each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Them other, you know what I'm saying, them other nations, the Moabites, some Chinese and, you know what I'm saying, Japanese, they love each other. You know what I'm saying? They do for each other. That's why they still have their nation. You know what I'm saying? You know, we ought to, you know what I'm saying, care for each other, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way we're going to get up out this hell anyway. You know what I'm saying? The only way we're going to get up out this hell is if we actually treat each other with respect. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, start deciding to build each other up as a people. You know, other than that, you know what I'm saying, we finished, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We finished, man. You know, we already see that now. You know, we already see how we're already in hell. You know what I'm saying? The longer we prolong that, you know what I'm saying, coming back to our people and, you know what I'm saying, becoming a nation again, the deeper and deeper into hell we go. You know what I'm saying? Hell is just a condition.
Right.
You know, so we're going to get deeper into a worse condition, even worse state than we already are. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to get easier. It's going to get harder in a sense. So, you know what I'm saying? Give me, you got that 1 John?
Come.
Okay, go ahead and read that.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 10. He that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
Right. So a brother that, you know what I'm saying, he loves his people, you know what I'm saying, he ain't tripping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He ain't stumbling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He loves his people. You know, he abides in light. You know, that brother, he's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, he's gonna know who he is. He's gonna know, you know what I'm saying, what he needs to do as an individual himself. He's gonna know he has to love his people, because if he doesn't, you know what I'm saying, well, we going back into slavery. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, like that, you know what I'm saying, that reminds me of, I don't think I put it, okay, yeah, I did put it on. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the 2 greatest commandments, man. You got to love your people, man.
Right.
Like you You have to. You really got no choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because choosing to love another nation, that okay, you can make that choice, but what you're choosing literally is death. You choosing to stay a slave and to be, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And if I could, sir, like that's a commandment for a reason. Like that's one of the greatest commandments for a reason. Like loving your brother as yourself is like making sure he's not sinning, like giving him guidance, telling him how to maneuver out of certain situations, telling him like which way to go. Like that ain't the way to go. This is the way to go. This is what's gonna keep you safe. You know, that's loving your brother. Like as yourself, you would tell yourself, like, okay, that's not a wise way to go. If there was like say like bad people at the end of the street, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, okay, I wouldn't go that way. Now you saying your brother going the same way, why wouldn't you warn him? You know, why wouldn't you guide him the right way?
Right.
You know, that's loving your neighbor or your brother as thyself.
Right. Right. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? You're right. Because that's like correcting, you know what I'm saying? And since you making sure your brother, you know what I'm saying, goes along the right path. Like that'd be like, you know what I'm saying? That's the brotherly thing to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you show, you know what I'm saying? That's how you show love. You know what I'm saying? You make sure your brother is about to jump off, you know, walk off a cliff. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna stop that brother and be like, hey man, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, you take 3 more steps, you know what I'm saying? You'll be falling, you know, 200 feet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's showing love, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? Like in this society, they'll watch you, you know what I'm saying, jump, you know, walk off that cliff, put it on World Star, and we all have a big laugh about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what this society does.
Right.
Like it makes fun, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just fun to be wicked.
Ignorance is bliss.
Right. Like it can be fun being righteous too.
Right.
Like, why would I keep being, you know what I'm saying? To me, like, there's no fun in being wicked. Like, it's just not that fun to me. Go ahead.
I could, sir. It's like being in the world, you watching things go bad and you getting the pleasure out of it. You know, like it's not going right, but you still finding some kind of pleasure out of it. Right. But in the truth, you're watching things go right, and you getting more pleasure than anything now. Man, this is like a load taken off your shoulders now. It's like, okay, now this is removing stress from my life. This is what I've been missing.
Right, right.
This is what I've been needing, you know.
Right.
But a lot of our people, it's hard to give them guidance, you know, due to factors of the society.
Right.
You know, like Instagram or social media, you know, stuff like that, or having the next, or being with the next fad.
Right, right.
You know, that blinds our people.
I feel you, man, because like, you know what I'm saying? Like how you said, like it's entertaining. It's fun to be, you know what I'm saying, wicked for, you know, for them for some reason. Like,
right.
Like to me, that reminds me of that hip hop in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so much fun to see drama or something. Like it's, you know, if I'm gonna watch drama, I'm gonna watch 2 Edomites beating the mess out of each other. Like that, you know what I'm saying? That's entertaining to me.
And when to get a quarter.
Right. Like put money on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Bring out the thumb and the euro. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm, you know, watching my people destroy each other on television, that's not entertaining to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna watch something that's, you know what I'm saying, getting destroyed, it's gonna be 2 white UFC fighters breaking each other's arms. You know what I'm saying? That's entertaining.
Knocking each other out at the same time.
Right. Nobody wins.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Except me. You know what I'm saying? So that's my entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But watching our people, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's why, man, these reality shows, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? These other nations, they make money off of us being destroyed. You know, I know niggas is the most entertaining thing on planet Earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be salt of the earth. But like, damn, man, like, you know what I'm saying? That stuff is not entertaining to me.
And if I could, sir, like you bringing out a heavy point, because when they see us as caged animals, and like people that with no class, no manners, like they don't know. It's like they're a big joke, you know. And then they take it, and then they make it like, you know what I'm saying, like marketable, you know.
Right.
They take us and they make us marketable, like you said. They make money off of it. Like
Right.
you got the Kardashians like putting on drama shows now, you know, and drawing our attention to them, keeping our attention on them.
Yeah.
You know, they're mainstream society, so they're putting out, you know, what's new, or like you know, the new way of doing things, you know, in drama relations, you know.
Right.
That's all I wanted to say. So.
Nah, I mean, like, you know, like how you said, like we're like a product that's to be pushed or something. You know, it's just some, you know, like how the scriptures say, we saw the earth. Right. So anything we do, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be entertaining. People gonna want to be like it and follow us. It's just, you know what I'm saying, we just got that swag. You know what I'm saying? But read that one more time.
Come. The book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 10. But he that hated his brother in darkness, also like that's verse 11. Verse 10, he that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him.
Right. Keep going.
Come. Verse 11. But he that hated his brother in darkness and walketh in darkness and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness had blinded his eyes.
Right. That's your pastor.
Right.
He hates you. Don't know why he hates you. And he's leading you into more hate. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he just don't care. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna care, man. Because there's no light in him.
If I could,
there's no truth in him. Go ahead.
That's without the proper guidance. That's without the I.S.U.P.K. There's no light. If you're not following the scriptures or being taught, you know, how we're being taught, then you're walking in darkness. You know, because someone can go, they say they're not in the Christian church and go off their own opinion and still become a homosexual. Right. You know, or still become a drug dealer or a drug addict. Right. You know, just based off going off of their own theory about life, you know. They're still walking in darkness. They become so prideful that they feel like they got it. They understand what life is about. Yeah. They have no clue. You know, right. That's all I want to say. So.
I mean, that's you know, that's awesome. Because like how you said, somebody that's you know, that may be like hooked, you know, an addict or whatever, hooked on drugs or something, you know what I'm saying? They really don't know. Right. You know what I'm saying? They might think, like how you say, life is just misery. Right. And pain. And you know what I'm saying? That's why the only way they can, you know, in a sense, cope with this world is just to be on drugs. Like, you know, like they've lost all hope in, you know what I'm saying, in themselves and in their people, man. You know, because, you know, man, that's why, you know, Most High in Christ for the UPK, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Most High in Christ, you know what I'm saying, for the Lord choosing us, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, that we have, you know, our spirits is just strong enough to where we can do this, man. We can stand up against the world. You know, like this whole game of planet Earth is a lot bigger than just us. You know, eventually, you know, as a people, as a nation, man, we go into other worlds and stuff. Like even if you think of this planet just in itself, you know what I'm saying? It's our job to make sure everybody else is okay. Like even, you know, of course, our people, you know what I'm saying? And of course, all nations are going into slavery. They're our inheritance and they got to pay for what, you know what I'm saying, all that they did, you know what I'm saying, these other nations. But, you know, we going to have to stop Ham from eating doo-doo sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to become a good, strong slave. You know what I'm saying? Them doo-doo sandwiches ain't really got no nutrients in them. Right. You know what I'm saying? We gonna feed you some stuff, you know, like plastic or something. That's got a little bit more nutrients than, you know what I'm saying, them, you know, Moab rats that you eating. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we gonna help them. You know what I'm saying? But of course, we're gonna reward them double. Right. You know what I'm saying, for what they done to us. So it, you know, and on top of that, we still got other worlds we got to go to. You know what I'm saying? We gonna, you know what I'm saying? The scriptures say, you know, you know, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Abraham, his seed is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, the sands of the sea. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, the dust that's on the earth. That's a lot of children, man. We're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, as soon as this place is populated, once it becomes just a tad bit overpopulated, we going to, you know, we're gonna terraform Mars or, you know what I'm saying, another solar system or something and live there. You know, so, you know, there's a lot at stake here. There's a, you know, and I'd rather be, you know, one of those brothers, you know what I'm saying? Because a minute, you know, well, not in a minute, but if you think about the whole grand scheme of things, you know what I'm saying, we're going to other planets and stuff, you know, there's going to be maybe trillions upon trillions of Israelites, but there's always going to be 144,000.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So out of that huge number, there are only 144,000, you know what I'm saying, chosen brothers.
Running the whole earth.
Right, running not even the earth, the whole galaxy or you know, go ahead and rule that parallel universe. Then the other 139,000, you know what I'm saying? Right. You get that universe. I get this one. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, the scriptures say the heart, you know what I'm saying, in the kingdom, you know what I'm saying, we don't even know, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is just what I could come up with my mind. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know. It's gonna be even greater than what I'm thinking of. All right. You know what I'm saying? So let me get John 15:12, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important to love your people, man.
Right.
Because the second we stop doing that, that's the second, you know what I'm saying? That's the beginning of us going back into slavery. The minute we stop loving our people, stop loving the Lord, you know what I'm saying, stop doing these laws, statutes, commandments, that's it for us. Go ahead.
And if I could, like, we, like a black man, know how another black man think. You know, like the spirit that we have is you know, is how you say it, like radiation or like, I don't know, but we understand one another. But it's like, if we come together, ain't no telling what we can do. You know, like,
right.
Ain't no telling what we can conquer or even just establish. Like, a black man in the world is so quick to think about what he can do, you know, and don't understand how fast he can like achieve that with other black people. You know, like, they all have something to contribute. If you have a team, you know what I'm saying, of your people, you know, we black people always find ways, you know, right. In the lowest state, we still find a way to make things happen or still find a way to be the flyers, you know.
Right.
We can still find a way to accomplish what we want to accomplish. Like, if you really want to put your people on, come together with your people. You know, don't use them as an advantage, you know, and get ahead. Use them as a true advantage and help them get ahead. You know, since you're already there, help them get there.
Right.
You know, and then get on to the next with your people. You know, instead of just using them, you know, like for your personal pleasures or your personal advantage. You know, help your people really get on. That's more achievable than, you know what I'm saying, whatever you can imagine. You know, getting stiff-necked people to come together and you know, do something great.
Right.
And everybody said every household is nice on the block. You know, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, because like, you know what I'm saying, like how you were saying, like most of the inventions, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, come from us, like the car, like a black man made the car.
Right.
But instead of like, you know, we in our own, you know what I'm saying, nation and whatever, in our own land,
right.
You know what I'm saying, the white man, he go ahead and you know what I'm saying, Ford say, oh yeah, I made the car. You know what I'm saying, that white man, you know what I'm saying, white people say they made the light bulb. You know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying, I created peanut butter. I created the phone. I created this. I created that. You know what I'm saying? White man ain't done had an original thought in his head ever. You know, or maybe when it comes to being evil,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, or being a homosexual, you know what I'm saying? Them his thoughts.
Being the greatest thief and the greatest killer.
Right, right. Them his thoughts. He
Right.
Jack the Ripper. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He Jeffrey Dahmer.
And he think, how can I put a nation under my feet like that? You know,
Right, right.
They're good at doing that.
Right. He has seen the Native Americans and be like, man, these people, they such a great, you know, they such a peaceful people. I need to go ahead and enslave them. Like, you know what I'm saying? The white man is the devil.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he cannot be trusted. You know what I'm saying? That's why we should stop, like how you said, you know, when we create something, we should bring it to our people, you know what I'm saying, and build each other up. You know what I'm saying? All, you know what I'm saying, all the inventions, you know what I'm saying, damn near come from us. You know what I'm saying? So we might as well use our own inventions toward building our own nation. You know what I'm saying? Instead of giving everything we got, you know what I'm saying, to this white man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ram, you have something to say? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Love your people, man.
Right.
Go ahead and read that for me.
Come. The book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you.
Right. So you should love, you know what I'm saying, your brothers and sisters as Christ, you know what I'm saying? Because Christ was an example. You know what I'm saying? He was, you know, a leading example on how we should be. So you should love your brothers and sisters just as much as he loved us. You know what I'm saying? Christ was willing to, you know, lay his life for us. That's how we should feel about every brother or sister, especially when they come into this truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because not, you know, not only that, you know what I'm saying, once they come into this truth, we on one mind, one accord.
Right.
You know, we know, you know what I'm saying, who is my family? You know what I'm saying? It's these people who do this truth, who do this word. Keep going.
Come. Verse 13. Greater love had no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
Right. So Christ said, love your brothers and sisters as much as I love y'all, because you know what I'm saying, Christ knew he was gonna have to you know what I'm saying, sacrifice himself. So we should love our people that much.
Right.
We should be willing to lay our lives down for our brothers and sisters, man. You know, keep actually read that one more time for me.
Come. Verse 13. Greater love had no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends.
Right. So that's the greatest love you can have
Right.
for someone. To lay, you know what I'm saying? In the military, you know, you throw yourself on a grenade to save your squadron, you get a Purple Heart and a Medal of Honor. Because that's the greatest love you had for your, you know, so-called brothers in the military. You know, that's the greatest amount, you know what I'm saying? Medal of Honor and the Purple Heart, I think that's the greatest medal you can get. So, you know, in the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, because all nations get everything from us. You know what I'm saying? You lay down your life for your brothers. That's like the highest honor and the highest amount of love you can do for a brother or sister.
Right.
All right, keep going.
Come. Verse 14. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you.
Right. So you my actually read that one more time.
Come. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you.
Right. So you are my friends if you do what I say. You know, of course there's rank and order, you know, but y'all still my friends, y'all still my brothers and sisters. You know, your brother or your sister is going to do, you know what you say to do, especially if you hold rank.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Love is an action. So the way you show you love somebody is by doing it. You know, when you love someone, it's going to show, not just in, you know, feelings and such, but it's going to show in action. All right, keep going.
Verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Come. Henceforth I call you not servants, For the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made them known unto you.
Right. So Christ ain't holding, you know what I'm saying, no secret theory. You can't form a conspiracy theory, you know what I'm saying, out of Christ. You know what I'm saying, because he's given us the whole game on what to do, what you need to do, how to be a brother. You know what I'm saying, how to be a righteous sister.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's given us the key to the kingdom. So there's, you know, there's no secret he's hiding. You know, Revelations is in there. It's, you know what I'm saying, all of that's going to be shown. You know what I'm saying, on what's going to happen in the end. You know what I'm saying, or, you know, why we're in the state that we're in. All of it's, you know what I'm saying, there's no secrets that's, you know what I'm saying, you ain't going to form a conspiracy theory against Christ. Christ trying to, you know, he going to come with 200 million angels and then he's going to kill everybody and it's just going to be him. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to form a theory against Christ. Keep going.
Come, verse 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to build this kingdom up, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to bring about, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be a good brother and bring forth good fruit, man. You're going to bring more people into this truth. You know what I'm saying? You're going to teach brothers, correct them in the way they should go, you know, and not deceive the people and bring them into a further hell.
Right.
You know, we're going to bring forth good fruit. All right. What verse was that?
Verse 16, sir.
Verse 16. Go ahead. One more.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
Come. These things I command you, that ye love one another.
Right. That ye love one another. You know what I'm saying? That's what it come down to, man. You know, if you got no love for your people, you're not gonna stand for your people.
Right.
You know, it's just that simple. You know, so give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 17. You know, if you don't have the love or the, you know, really if you don't have the love for your people, you can't have the spirit of the Lord.
Right.
You can't have the spirit to go and fight for your people and come against this world.
If I could, sir.
Go ahead.
If you don't have the love for your people, you're not going to join with your people. You're going to join with the oppressors, because to be holy means to be separate. But if you are separate from the world, you're going to join with your people.
Right.
You know, but if you're not, you're going to join with the oppressors, you know, and your enemies, and you're going to help carry out the devil's agenda. You know,
right.
That's all I want to say, sir.
I mean, exactly. Like how you know, we're going to be choosing death instead of life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you know, you can't choose to be on the fence. You can't be lukewarm.
Right.
You know, you either choose to be with life or with death, or you're gonna choose to either be with the Lord or with the devil. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. There's no in between. You can't make a, you know, saying a passing grade or whatever and make it into the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Just by being, you know, walking that line. You're not going, you know what I'm saying? You're just gonna get destroyed. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as really even being, you know, walking that line. You can't be in between. You just can't. You're either one way or you're not. You know, you know, if you're a brother struggling in the truth, you know what I'm saying, you either in the truth or you're not. You know what I'm saying? You come to camp or you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. Right, read that one. Yeah, with the scripture.
1 Corinthians.
Yeah.
Come. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 17. Now, in this that I declare to you, I praise you not, that ye come together not for the better, but for the worse.
Right. You're not deserving of praise when we come together, because usually when we come together, it's usually for the worst.
Could I give an
Go
example?
ahead.
Niggas love coming together to smoke some weed.
Right.
Drinking lean or popping pills, doing drugs, or coming together to find out how they gonna get some select in the world.
Right.
You know, or rob somebody.
Right.
Or sell drugs, you know, for wickedness.
Right. I mean, that's exactly that's you know what I'm saying? We'll come together, you know what I'm saying, to pop pills, or you know what I'm saying, like how you say we come together to smoke weed. Like, man, when I was, you know what I'm saying, when I was in the world, that's like all the friendship was based on. Like, just you know what I'm saying, I got a new scent, let's go smoke it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when you don't, now everything boring.
Right.
Man, well, I'm saying no more weed. I'm gonna go ahead and go home, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's, you know, or another example is like gangs and stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We'll come together to destroy another brother's family, but we won't ever come together to destroy our real enemy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We won't ever come together for that. But when it's down for some wicked or for evil, or you know what I'm saying, that's really like our people, man. We just have like a child's mentality or something. Like,
right,
we would just rather do what our father don't do.
Right.
It's like, you know what I'm saying, if you had if somebody told you, man, don't do that because such and such, and you go out and do it just to see, why'd they say it was so? Even though they told me, I want to see for myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. What you
I want to say, like, you can tell a black man, Native Indian man, or Hispanic man to, you know, celebrate Passover. You know, that it's a commandment in the Bible that you're supposed to celebrate Passover.
Right.
But they won't. But they'll go to South by Southwest, where all the artists would be smoking weed, where all the easy women would be, you know, just to have fun, but won't serve God. Well,
so like this past holiday. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, right.
You know, all these black brothers and sisters wanted to go celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and you're not even
Irish. Right.
Or Celtic.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we be on some other stuff. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Dressed up in all green, trying to
pinch people.
trying to pinch people on Patrick's Day.
And then celebrate the holiday better than they do
it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, Halloween and all that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? You really want to celebrate Halloween, dress up as a white man. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, don't celebrate any of that stuff, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All we got to do is do, you know what I'm saying, the law, statutes, commandments, man. We got our own holidays anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like how you was bringing out the Passover. That's a commandment.
Right.
You know, when we get together, man, we eat lamb. You know what I'm saying? We eat that, you know what I'm saying, the leavened bread. You know what I'm saying? We have a good time. Brothers getting, you know what I'm saying, tipsy and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? We acting a fool, man.
Telling war stories
right.
about the world, how we in the world, how we survived it.
You know what I'm saying? And stories at camp, man. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying, this truth is just so much more fun than being in the world, man. Because where can you go to have other brothers and sisters that actually care about you? Like, where is that? That's nowhere, man. You know what I'm saying? It's only here at the UPK. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all I haven't found it anywhere else. It's the only place I found it. You know what I'm saying? So read that for me one more time.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
Come. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 17. Now in this that I declare to you, I praise you not, that ye come together not for the better, but for the worse.
Right. So give me 1 Corinthians 12 and 25.
Come.
Right. So, you know what I'm saying, we got to come together for the better. and not for the worse, man. You know what I'm saying? Our people already know what to do, really. You know, everybody knows what they should be doing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters already know they need to unite. It's just that we just don't have the will to do it. We just don't have the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Most of us don't. You know, it's hard, you know what I'm saying, coming out, you know what I'm saying, all that psychological damage, you know what I'm saying, of 400 years of slavery, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I mean, we still in slavery, but it's like, you know, it's a different type, you know, and we got to overcome that and stand against the white man. Like, no wonder there's only going to be 144,000. Like even the 144,000, that's not everybody right now. That's like niggas that's been dead for however long, and then they get resurrected. In this day and time, it might just be a 3,000. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the other 143, you know what I'm saying, or 140 get resurrected. Like this one here, man. This nation here, this is Sodom, Gomorrah, Egypt, and Babylon mixed into one.
Right.
It's like you overcome this one. You were strong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no question about it. You know what I'm saying? Because go ahead, you have something to say?
Oh, come on. I did. Like our people, you brought up something that made me want to say this. Like our people, they want to hear things, you know, like that they want it to sound good to them. Right. You know, something like if you like the Christian pastor tell them something that make them sound like, you know, it sounds good to them or motivate them or give them hope or something like that. But we bring out the truth and they'll turn their face like that don't sound good. Like, you know, like right. It'll offend them. You know, like something right. Just how we speak will offend them. And that's so childish, like to think like that. Somebody could be telling you, hey man, a car's about to hit you. And because they yelling at you, you ain't trying to listen. You know, like you got your head so far up your behind. You like, yeah, I got it going on. Car hit me, so what? You know, a Judite to be like that. If I get his on me, and then they laid up in the hospital, like I should have been listening. You know, like we just show me people. Right. You know, that's all I want to say. So.
I mean, you on it. Cause like how you said, like some of us, you know what I'm saying, like we had brought out that, you know what I'm saying, Zechariah. Zechariah was trying to tell the people, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to, you know what I'm saying, like at camp, like when we teach people, but the people, they just don't want to hear it.
Right.
And they rather keep doing whatever, you know, the life they live in or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, than to hear the truth and to change their life for the better. Like I'm telling you, like it takes a certain amount of strength to do this stuff.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? The laws ain't grievous, but when you going up against the world, mug it be hard, man.
Right.
Because, you know what I'm saying, even Christ was tempted, man. You know what I'm saying? Christ, saying back in that time, they might have had twerkers and everything. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff is hard to turn down. So, you know what I'm saying? We all got tempted, man. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no easy life for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And since we're trying to be like Christ, we got to go through the same things Christ went. You know, how can you be Christ-like if you didn't go through the same things he went through?
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? That wrap it up right there. You know what I'm saying? That's you know what I'm saying, the summary. Oh yeah, you got 12 and 25, 1 Corinthians.
Come, sir.
All right, go ahead.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 25. That there should be no schisms in the body, but that the members should have same care one for another.
Right. So there shouldn't be any division in this body of Christ. There shouldn't be any. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody what? All the body parts do what?
Have the same care for one another.
Right. So we should all, you know what I'm saying, all the tribes should care for one another.
Right.
I'm saying every part of the body, the eyes should see, the head should do what it do. You know what I'm saying? The nose should breathe, the arms should work, the hands should grab things. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Everything, every part of the body should work towards helping that one body. All right, keep going.
Come, verse 26. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it, or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it.
Right. So when Christ come back, we're gonna rejoice with him. You know what I'm saying? Christ deserved the glory that he's gonna get when he come back. You know what I'm saying? Just like the 144, you get you a crown, you deserve that glory.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When anything good happens to one of us, you know what I'm saying, it's like something good happened to all of us. You know what I'm saying, because we one body, one mind, one spirit. So when even the individual gets a come up, you know, any kind of come up, you know what I'm saying, you know, in our nation, whether it's a new invention or you know, a new way to, you know, a new food recipe, or, you know what I'm saying, Israelite style, you know what I'm saying, like whatever it is, we all come up because of that.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying, we should all rejoice. You know what I'm saying, like how he said, we one body, you know what I'm saying, one spirit. You know what I'm saying? Give me Proverbs 18:19. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we should all rejoice. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, we all got to, you know, if we're gonna be one nation, we obviously should be on one accord.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We should obviously, you know what I'm saying, like the school fish, you know what I'm saying, like the fish, you know what I'm saying, they all move one way. They just automatically know, you know what I'm saying, we got to learn a lesson from them because they just move one way. And
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one. School fish.
Right, just like the school fish, man. We got to move just like that. When the one in the front make the right, they all make a right. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be like that. You know, so it's, you know, we can't have, you know, all of us make a right and then it be that one dude who make a left. Now we got to go back and catch him to get him back into the school. You know what I'm saying? to get that nigga back in the school, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? You messing up. You know, we went this way. Why you go that way? You know what I'm saying? Now we all suffer. You know what I'm saying? The same way when we all stick together, you know what I'm saying? We all benefit. You know what I'm saying? We're all honored. We're all rejoiced. We all deserve praise, man. You know what I'm saying? We all deserve our land. We all deserve, you know what I'm saying, our inheritance that we were promised.
I like that analogy you brought out. Hey, that was deep.
That was deep,
man. That was deep. That was deep, right?
Go ahead and read that for me, man.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 19. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and the contentions are like the bars of a castle.
Right. So, you know what I'm saying? A brother offended, you know what I'm saying? I should put that one closer to the, but anyway, you know what I'm saying? A brother offended is hard to win, man. You know what I'm saying? We, you know, just like how that Matthew 18:15 we had brought out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you offend your brother, you know what I'm saying, or if that brother is offended, y'all, you know what I'm saying, you make that known. You know what I'm saying? You go to that brother and you make it, you know what I'm saying, known that, like, you know what I'm saying, brother, you offended me when you said such and such, such and such. You know what I'm saying? Because when there's an offense that's happened, see, now there's a schism. Now there's a division.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that brother is going to be harder to win, you know what I'm saying, than a strong city. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be harder to win that brother, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, because once you offend somebody, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, the nigga already looking at you sideways. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, that's why that Matthew 18:15 is just so important, because, you know what I'm saying, we gotta solve the matter. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make things right again, you know, so we can get back into, you know what I'm saying, being on one accord again. You know what I'm saying? So give me 1 John 5:3, and that'd be the last verse.
1 John 5:3.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that Matthew 18:15, that's an action right there. When you go up to that brother and you make sure he's okay, you know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying, you shalom, you make sure, you know what I'm saying, you know, you say you're sorry or whatever, you didn't mean to offend that brother. You know what I'm saying? That's an action. That's how you show love. You know what I'm saying? Even this, like teaching, you know what I'm saying, going over these scriptures, it's an act of love. You know what I'm saying? Going to camp, an act of love. You know what I'm saying? Doing the law, statutes, commandment. That's obviously an act of love. Go ahead.
Another act of love is raising your brother's awareness.
Right.
You know, making sure he's aware of something. You know, bringing something to his attention.
Right. Like, exactly. Like, even any information you have on something that could benefit the school or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's an act of love too, because you're trying to help your brother grow.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Helping your brother come up is you coming up.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's, you know what I'm saying? We all come up. Like how the scriptures say, we all come up. When any of us come up, we all come up. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and read that for me.
Go on. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
Right. So that's the love of God. When you do what the Lord say, that's the love of God. When you do the commandments, you know what I'm saying? The commandment is an order. A commandment is doing exactly that. Doing, you know what I'm saying? An action.
Right.
That's, you know what I'm saying? That's an act of love, because you're showing that you do love the Lord by actually, you know what I'm saying, doing what he says to do, by, you know what I'm saying, reading your scriptures, going over your precepts, and being like, oh, okay, I gotta wear fringes. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I gotta love my brothers and sisters. Okay, I'm gonna do that. How do I love my brothers and sisters? It's an action. Okay, well, what's the action to love my brother? Okay, well, since I know I'm an Israelite and I know UPK is the truth, okay, I gotta wake them up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a duty that I do this. It's, you know what I'm saying? That's the way I have of showing love. And I have a family. I got to show them, I got to guide them the way in which they should go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I don't, then it's just all left up to chance. You know what I'm saying? It's just all left up to randomness if I don't show them, if I don't guide them in the correct path. You know what I'm saying? Give me Matthew 7 and 13 real quick. You know what I'm saying? I got to show them, you know what I'm saying? If I leave it up to chance, there's so much, you know, my family or whatever, or my people, you know what I'm saying? There's so much in the way. There's so many obstacles that they'll never, you know what I'm saying? If it weren't for me for learning about the truth, you know, or being taught by the truth, or the brothers before me, you know what I'm saying? That if I leave it up to chance, there's a greater chance for them to be destroyed.
Right.
Go ahead and read that for me.
Come. The book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Right. Go ahead, yeah.
Come. And many there be which go and thereat.
Right. So wide is the gate to destruction. Like, it's easy to be destroyed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's easy to fall into the traps and snares of the white man, of this world. You know what I'm saying, of all nations, really. It's easy to fall into their traps. You know what I'm saying? It's the gate to destruction is wide. There's a lot of people in that gate, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be lined up. Right. A lot. Not only is the gate wide, but a lot of people lined up for it.
Right.
You know, some people are, well, a lot of people are willing to just be at that gate to be destroyed. You know, so, you know, and then when it comes to your family, you want to make sure they don't even have the thought of being willing to be at that gate. You don't even want them to even have that thought.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, brothers back here, you know what I'm saying, in this school, we consider, you know what I'm saying, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans our family. So we don't want to see our family, you know what I'm saying, out to just be destroyed. You know, so, You know, we don't want it, not at all. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and read that next part.
Verse 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
Right. So it was already hard to find the gate. You know what I'm saying? It was already hard to find the gate to righteousness.
Right.
So it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of the people who know the gate. I'm one of the people who found it. I gotta help other people find this gate to righteousness too, this gate to the kingdom. I gotta help other brothers and sisters find this gate. You know what I'm saying? The more of us know it, you know what I'm saying, the more of us, you know what I'm saying, get pass through this gate into the school and endure to the end. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's more brothers and sisters saved on my account. My blood is not on their hands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Anything you want to add?
No, that's what I want to hear. Really.
Okay. Well, Most High in Christ. With that, I'm gonna pass the class to Trooper Ram. He's gonna read the security announcements. Shout out to the brothers, you know what I'm saying, that came to the school and helped out. You know what I'm saying? Check out Just Laundry products at Etsy.com. Also pay your tithes and pay your camp funds, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, brothers. All right.
We are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, out of the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, Malachi and Malachi, verse 3, 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, Mayasharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations is the Passover, the 14th day of the month, which is Saturday, April 20th at sundown. Out of the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 51, chapter 12, verse 1 through 51, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 4 through 5, 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7 and 8, and 2 Corinthians chapter 30, verse 17. The 50th annual Passover will be held at the Woodhaven Manor Banquet Hall, 9601 Jamaica Avenue, Queens, New York. $200 per family or person. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And these are the security announcements.